My chosen one, this is not a random message. This is not a coincidence. This is not something you click by accident. God directed Archangel Michael to bring this message urgently. Something you don't see yet is about to happen near you. There isn't much time left. Watch now. You were led here because heaven refused to stay silent. Right now, in the unseen realm, movement has already begun. Decisions have been made in places you cannot physically see. Conversations are happening about your life, about your house, about the environment surrounding you. And the truth is, you are closer to a shift than you realize. You feel it, don't you? That strange tension in the atmosphere. That subtle discomfort you cannot explain. That sense that something is building. This is not anxiety. This is spiritual awareness. Archangel Michael stands in command when transitions occur, when battles shift, when hidden matters prepare to surface. And God has assigned him to make sure you are not caught unprepared. Listen carefully. There is something near you, not necessarily inside you, but around you, in your circle, in your environment, in a place you walk through every day. You have not noticed it clearly yet. It has been quiet. It has been subtle. It has been forming behind the curtain of normal life. But timing. The reason you are hearing this now is because the window to prepare is small. Heaven does not shout without reason. When urgency is released, it is because alignment must happen quickly. You may have sensed changes in people's behavior, slight tone shifts, small inconsistencies, energy that feels different. You tried to dismiss it. You told yourself you were overthinking. But you were not overthinking. You were discerning. Archangel Michael's presence increases when hidden strategies are unfolded. His role is protection, revelation, and divine order. And right now, divine order is stepping into your surroundings. Something you don't see yet is about to happen near you. Not to harm you, but to expose what has been concealed. Not to destroy you, but to reposition you. However, the exposure may shake your comfort. That is why this message is urgent. There isn't much time left before the reveal. You must become spiritually alert. Watch your environment. Observe conversations. Pay attention to sudden changes. Heaven is not trying to make you fearful. Heaven is preparing you so you will not be surprised. Because when it happens, others will panic. But you will remain steady. Archangel Michael is being dispatched ahead of the event. He is clearing pathways. He is restricting interference. He is standing guard over your dwelling, your name, and your future. However, there is something you must understand. When God sends warning before manifestation, it means you are chosen to respond correctly. Some will ignore the signs. Some will laugh. Some will scroll away. But you stay. And that matters. The atmosphere around you is shifting like pressure before a storm. Not a storm of destruction, a storm of revelation. You might notice sudden truth surfacing, unexpected conversations, a person acting out of character, information arriving from an unusual source, a change in plans that feels inconvenient at first. Do not resist it. This is orchestration. Archangel Michael does not move randomly. When he moves, it is because heaven has authorized intervention. An intervention means timing is critical. There is something positioned near you that cannot stay hidden much longer. The reason you do not fully see it yet is because the unveiling has an appointed moment. But the preparation must begin now. Pray differently tonight. Instead of asking God, remove what I fear, begin asking God, reveal what I need to see. There is a difference. One prayer avoids truth. The other invites clarity, and clarity is coming. You may feel a sense of urgency rising in your spirit as you listen. That is not manipulation. That is confirmation. Something inside you is recognizing that this message aligns with what you have been sensing quietly for days, maybe weeks. Archangel Michael is not coming with chaos. He is coming with precision. When something near you shifts, do not react emotionally. Respond spiritually. There is strategy behind what is about to unfold. And here is the shocking part. What is about to happen is not random. It is the answer to a prayer you forgot you prayed. Yes, months ago, maybe even years ago, you asked God to remove deception from your life. You asked for protection from hidden agendas. You asked to be separated from what is not aligned. This is that answer. But answers do not always arrive gently. Sometimes they arrive as exposure. Sometimes they arrive as deception. Sometimes they arrive as a sudden unveiling. You must not misinterpret the shaking. When something near you changes suddenly, remember this moment. Remember that you were warned with love, not fear. Archangel Michael stands ready. The countdown has already begun. Prepare your heart. Guard your reactions. Sharpen your discernment. Because what you cannot see yet is closer than you think. And when it unfolds, you will understand why heaven rushed to reach you today. Beloved soul, the urgency has not decreased. It has intensified. Since you began listening, something has already started aligning. You may not see physical evidence yet, but movements in the unseen realm do not wait for human confirmation. When God directs Archangel Michael to step forward with a warning, it is because timing has entered a critical phase. There is a reason the message said there isn't much time left. This is not about fear. It is about positioning. Something near you is approaching a moment of exposure or activation. It had been forming quietly. Perhaps it involves a conversation that has not yet happened. Perhaps it involves a decision someone close to you is about to make. Perhaps it involves information that has been withheld from you. Whatever it is, the stillness you are experiencing right now is the calm before revelation. You might feel an unusual sensitivity lately. Small details seem louder. Certain people feel different. The atmosphere in familiar places feels slightly altered. That is because your discernment is sharpening under divine instruction. Archangel Michael operates where clarity must replace confusion. His presence does not create chaos. It organizes truth. When something hidden is about to surface, heaven increases your awareness first. This is your advantage. Listen carefully to this next insight. The event that is about to unfold near you will not announce itself dramatically at first. It may begin subtly. A comment, a message, a change in tone, a shift in routine. But underneath that small surface change is a much larger spiritual adjustment taking place. Do not dismiss small signals. Often, God whispers before He reveals. The urgency exists because your reaction matters. If you respond emotionally, you may delay your blessing. If you respond spiritually, you accelerate protection and favor. That is why this preparation is happening now. Archangel Michael is standing at the boundary of your environment. Think of it as a spiritual checkpoint. What is not aligned with your destiny is being reviewed. What carries hidden motives is being brought into light. And what is meant to remain in your life will be strengthened, not removed. The key is this: do not panic when the shift begins. Some people around you may not understand what is happening. They may react impulsively. They may reveal parts of themselves you did not expect. Let them. Exposure is not your responsibility to control. It is heaven's responsibility to orchestrate. But your peace, that is your responsibility to guard. Something you do not see yet is about to happen near you. And when it does, you will remember these words. You will realize that the tension you felt was preparation, not anxiety. You will see that what looked stable was actually temporary. And you will understand why Archangel Michael had to deliver this urgently. Because delay would have left you vulnerable. Right now, your role is simple but powerful. Pray for discernment. Observe without accusation. Stay calm. The revelation will unfold on its own timing. And let me say something important. If this message is resonating with you, if you feel that inner confirmation stirring, then do not keep it to yourself. Someone else near you may also need this warning. Share this message with them. Spread it. Let it reach the ears it is meant to reach. When you like this video, when you comment your thoughts, when you subscribe and become part of this spiritual family, you are not just supporting a channel. You are helping these urgent warnings travel further. There are people who are seconds away from making a decision that could change their path. What if this message is the interruption they need? Engage. Participate. Lift the energy of this word. And if you feel called to go deeper, join the membership community where we stand united in prayer and spiritual alertness. Your action today may be part of someone else's protection tomorrow. And now, let me bring you back to the core. The reason there isn't much time left is because alignment happens quickly once heaven initiates movement. You may wake up one morning very soon and notice that something feels different. A truth may surface. A mask may fall. A door may close unexpectedly. Do not grieve what is removed. Sometimes removal is rescue. Archangel Michael is not arriving late. He is arriving exactly on schedule. And because you heard this message before the manifestation, you are already steps ahead. This is your moment to stand steady. In the coming hours or days, watch carefully. Stay centered. Do not overreact. What unfolds is not meant to harm you. It is meant to clear your path. And trust me, what comes next will make everything clearer than you ever imagined. Precious one, the atmosphere around you is not ordinary anymore. What had been hidden is reaching its expiration date. When God releases urgency through Archangel Michael, it is because heaven refuses to allow deception to sit comfortably in your environment any longer. The grace period is closing. The unveiling is approaching. You must understand something deeply right now. Exposure is not punishment. It is protection. There has been something operating quietly near you. It may not even be dramatic. It may not look evil or obvious. It could be a mindset, a conversation pattern, a silent agreement, or a hidden intention. But it has not been aligned with your destiny. And because you asked for alignment, whether you remember it or not, heaven is responding. Archangel Michael steps forward when divine order must be restored. He is not sent for minor adjustments. He is sent when strategic intervention is required. That is why this message carries weight. That is why you feel it in your chest. That is why your spirit feels alert. Something is about to surface. You might notice that certain individuals begin revealing more than they intended. Words may slip. Truth may leak through small cracks. Pay attention to what is casually said in the coming days. Often, what seems accidental is actually permitted by heaven. There isn't much time left before the shift becomes visible. But here is the deeper revelation. The event near you is connected to your next level. You cannot step forward while standing on unstable ground. You cannot carry favor into a space that holds hidden compromise. So God, in His mercy, sends warning before removal. You may feel resistance when it begins. You may want things to stay comfortable. You may wish that nothing changes. But comfort is not always safety, and stability is not always truth. Archangel Michael's presence is firm but protective. Imagine him standing at the edge of your home, your workplace, your circle, reviewing what belongs and what does not. His sword is not raised in aggression. It is raised in authority. He stands as a guardian of your calling. And when the exposure happens, do not be shocked. You were told in advance. The urgency in this message is not theatrical. It is spiritual timing. There are moments in life when heaven moves quietly, and there are moments when heaven accelerates. You are in an accelerated moment. If something feels tense, it is because truth is pressing against concealment. If something feels unsettled, it is because alignment is pushing against compromise. Do not interpret the shaking as loss. Interpret it as refinement. Soon, something will occur that makes you say, "Now I understand." It may involve a revelation about someone's true intentions. It may involve an opportunity that suddenly removes you from a questionable situation. It may involve a conversation that clarifies everything at once. Whatever form it takes, remember this: it was allowed for your protection. Archangel Michael was directed specifically because this is not a small adjustment. This is a decisive moment. The window is narrow. The reaction window is even narrower. That is why you must stay spiritually calm. Do not react publicly before you process privately. Do not speak prematurely. Let truth complete its full exposure. God is not partial in revelation. When He begins unveiling something, He finishes it. And here is something even deeper. The thing you do not see yet is not stronger than the protection surrounding you. It only appeared stable because it was unchallenged. But once heaven challenges it, it cannot remain hidden. You may even feel a strange sense of relief when it happens. A subtle peace that confirms this needed to come out. That peace will be your confirmation that Archangel Michael's intervention was successful. The urgency exists because delay would have prolonged confusion. And confusion is not your portion. Clarity is your portion. Protection is your portion. Alignment is your portion. In the coming days, stay observant but not anxious. Pray for wisdom, not control. Let events unfold without forcing them. What is being revealed is not to embarrass you but to free you. And when it happens, you will not be blindsided. You will be prepared. Now, if this message is conferring something in your spirit, respond prophetically. Type "I receive divine protection" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 444 has just been released over your life. As this moment of revelation draws near, understand that this message is not just information. It is invitation. When you sow into what God is doing here, you are not funding a channel. You are fueling a rescue mission for souls standing on the edge of unseen shifts. Scripture declares, as you give, it will be given back to you, pressed down and overflowing. Hear that as God speaking directly to you now. When you release a seed through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal in the description, you are planting into fertile ground where light exposes darkness. I believe I am called to stand in this gap and carry these urgent warnings forward. Every offering becomes oil in the lamp that keeps this message burning. This is your moment to act in obedience, not hesitation. Do not miss the blessing of being part of what heaven is accelerating. As you give, may doors open swiftly and protection surround your household. Step into this prophetic act now and so boldly. Faithful heart, the silence you are experiencing right now is not emptiness. It is tension before revelation. Heaven does not rush without reason, and it does not warn without purpose. Since you have stayed with this message, something within you has already shifted. Awareness has increased. Discernment has sharpened. You are no longer passive. You are watchful. And that is exactly where God needs you. The urgency that Archangel Michael carries is not about panic. It is about positioning. There is a divine rearrangement happening close to you. You may not physically see pieces moving yet, but spiritually, the table is being reset. Think carefully about the last few weeks. Have there been subtle inconsistencies? Moments where something felt slightly off, but you brushed it aside? Perhaps someone's words did not match their actions. Perhaps an opportunity seemed promising but carried an unexplainable heaviness. Perhaps your spirit hesitated when your mind tried to move forward. Those hesitations were not random. They are early alerts. Now the alert has become direct. Something near you is approaching its moment of exposure, and when it happens, it will clarify more than one situation at once. This is not a small ripple. It is a strategic correction. Archangel Michael operates where confusion must end. His presence signals that heaven is no longer tolerating imbalance around you. There has been a hidden thread woven into your environment that does not belong to your future. It may look normal on the surface. It may even appear beneficial. But beneath it lies misalignment. And misalignment cannot cross into your next season. This is why there isn't much time left. Because once revelation begins, it unfolds quickly. You must prepare yourself emotionally. Not by building defenses, but by strengthening your trust. When exposure comes, the first instinct is often reaction. But your strength will be in restraint. Observe before speaking. Listen before responding. Pray before deciding. The event that is about to occur near you may initially seem inconvenient. It may disrupt plans. It may change expectations. But inconvenience is sometimes the doorway to protection. You asked for truth in your life. Truth is coming. You asked for God to remove what is not meant for you. Removal is approaching. You asked for clarity. Clarity is about to interrupt illusion. And when it does, do not mourn what leaves. Sometimes what feels stable is only familiar. Familiarity is not destiny. Archangel Michael is ensuring that what remains in your life is worthy of your calling. That includes relationships, agreements, environments, and even thoughts you have been tolerating. There is a cleansing happening that you cannot fully perceive yet. You may notice people becoming defensive without clear reason. You may see behavior intensify before it collapses. This is common when hidden things sense they are losing ground. Stay calm. Exposure often causes discomfort before it produces freedom. The urgency of this message is connected to timing. Once the unveiling begins, there will be little room to adjust emotionally. That is why you are being strengthened now. This is preparation, not alarm. Let your spirit remain steady. The presence of Archangel Michael symbolizes decisive action, not chaotic movement, but precise intervention. If something suddenly shifts near you, do not question whether God has abandoned you. Question whether God is protecting you. There is a difference. Protection sometimes feels like disruption at first glance. Very soon, you will witness something that confirms this entire warning. It may not look dramatic to others, but to you it will be unmistakable. You will remember this moment. You will remember that heaven rushed to speak before it happened, and you will realize that you were never uninformed. The environment around you cannot carry hidden instability into your future. It must either transform or separate. That process has already begun. Do not try to control it. Do not try to fix what God is exposing. Your role is not to repair what is misaligned. Your role is to walk forward when the path clears. And it will clear. There is a quiet confidence rising in you even now. That confidence is not pride. It is spiritual assurance. It is the awareness that you are covered, guarded, and guided. The countdown continues, but you are not behind. In fact, because you received this message, you are ahead. Remain observant in the coming days. Notice patterns. Notice conversations. Notice sudden transparency where secrecy once existed. When it unfolds, let peace anchor you. You are not losing anything that was truly meant for you. You are being separated from what could not follow you. And when the shift completes, the space around you will feel lighter, clearer, and aligned with where you are going next. Stand firm. The unveiling is closer than ever. Steady one. What is forming around you has now entered its final stage before revelation. There is a spiritual pressure building, and you may feel it as a quiet intensity in your daily life. Conversations feel loaded. Silence feels heavier than usual. Even ordinary moments seem to carry an undercurrent of anticipation. This is not your imagination. This is the atmosphere responding to what heaven has already set in motion. When God directs Archangel Michael to move urgently, it signals that delay is no longer permitted. Whatever has been concealed has reached its limit. Whatever has been tolerated quietly is now being reviewed openly in the unseen realm. You are closer to clarity than you think. The reason you still cannot fully see what is about to happen is because timing is precise. Revelation does not come randomly. It comes when exposure will create maximum alignment. If it had happened earlier, you might have ignored it. If it happens later, it could interfere with something greater ahead. So heaven has chosen the exact moment, and that moment is approaching rapidly. You may begin noticing small disruptions, plans shifting unexpectedly, people changing their tone, information surfacing from unexpected directions. Do not brush these aside. They are tremors before the main shift. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of divine order. His assignment in your situation is not merely to reveal, but to separate. There is something near you that cannot travel with you into your next season. It may have looked harmless. It may have appeared supportive. It may even have seemed necessary. But it was temporary. Temporary things often disguise themselves as permanent. That is why exposure is required. You might feel a mixture of emotions when the unveiling begins. Relief intertwined with surprise. Disappointment mixed with confirmation. That emotional complexity is normal. What matters is that you do not let emotion override discernment. Remember, you were warned. This is not a sudden collapse. This is a planned unveiling. There isn't much time left before it becomes visible. And when it does, others may react strongly. Some may have to explain themselves. Some may deny. Some may shift blame. Stay grounded. You are not responsible for managing their response. Your responsibility is alignment. The urgency of this message is also connected to opportunity. Once what is hidden is revealed, a new door will begin to open. But that door requires clarity. You cannot step through it while holding on to confusion. God is clearing the path. Archangel Michael's presence means protection is active even during exposure. Nothing that surfaces will overpower you. Nothing that is revealed will destroy you. It will simply remove illusion. An illusion has no future in your life. You may wonder why this could not be handled quietly. Why must there be exposure? Why must there be disruption? Because hidden instability eventually becomes visible damage if left unaddressed. Heaven intervenes early when it values your destiny highly. That is what is happening now. You are valued. You are guarded. You are being repositioned. Very soon, a situation near you will demand attention. It may be a conversation you did not expect. It may be a truth that changes your perception instantly. It may be a shift in someone's behavior that confirms everything. When it happens, do not hesitate in your discernment. Trust what you see. Trust what you hear. Trust what your spirit confirms. This is not the time to second-guess yourself. For too long, you may have given the benefit of the doubt where clarity was needed. For too long, you may have tolerated subtle discomfort to preserve peace. But real peace is built on truth, not avoidance. Archangel Michael's intervention ensures that avoidance is no longer an option. As the unveiling approaches, strengthen your inner posture. Pray for calm. Pray for wisdom. Pray for measured words. The way you respond will shape the speed of your transition. Once exposure occurs, movement follows quickly. There isn't much time left in this current arrangement. Something is about to shift permanently, and although it may feel sudden, it has been developing quietly for longer than you realize. You are not behind. You are being advanced. When the dust settles after the revelation, you will see clearly how necessary this was. You will recognize the protection hidden inside the disruption. You will understand why heaven refused to remain silent. Stay steady. The next development will confirm everything you have sensed. And when it does, you will step forward lighter, clearer, and more aligned than ever before. Brave soul, you are standing at the edge of confirmation. The spiritual tension you have been sensing is about to translate into visible reality. What was once subtle will soon become undeniable. Heaven has been patient, but now the appointed moment is drawing near. When God directs Archangel Michael to act urgently, it means that what has been hidden can no longer remain covered. There is a divine exposure approaching your environment. You may already feel a shift in how certain people interact with you. Their words may feel calculated. Their energy may feel unsettled. This is not coincidence. When truth begins pressing against concealment, those who are carrying hidden intentions often become uncomfortable. Stay observant, not reactive. Archangel Michael's role here is protective precision. He is not stirring conflict. He is allowing what is unstable to reveal itself. There is a difference between creating chaos and uncovering what was already unstable. Heaven is not introducing disorder. It is uncovering it. Something near you is about to reveal its true form. It may involve a relationship dynamic that has been quietly unbalanced. It may involve information that someone withheld. It may involve a situation that seems secure but was built on partial truth. Whatever the case, the unveiling will clarify more than one area of your life. And when it begins, it will move quickly. There isn't much time left before you see it with your own eyes. The reason for this urgency is that your next step depends on it. You cannot fully advance while carrying hidden uncertainty around you. God is not only protecting you, He is accelerating you. But acceleration requires removal of weight. Do not fear what leaves your life in this season. Fear only remaining in spaces that God is trying to clear. The presence of Archangel Michael indicates that this is a decisive moment. This is not a small adjustment. This is a correction with long-term impact. You might notice that conversations intensify unexpectedly. Truth may surface in fragments at first. Pay attention to the fragments. They are pieces of a larger picture. Once the full picture becomes visible, you will understand why heaven intervened. Your composure will be your strength. Others may react emotionally when exposure begins. Some may attempt to control the narrative. Some may rush to justify themselves. Let them speak. You do not need to argue with revelation. Truth defends itself. The urgency also carries a blessing. Once what is hidden is exposed, a door that seemed delayed will begin to open. There is opportunity waiting on the other side of this unveiling. But that opportunity requires clarity around you. Clarity is coming. And because you received this warning, you will not be caught off guard. You will recognize the signs. You will remember this preparation. You will stand steady when others feel shaken. This is where your engagement matters. If this message is confirming something in your spirit, do not remain silent. Like this video so the message spreads to others who may be on the edge of their own revelation. Share it with someone who needs discernment right now. Comment what you have been sensing in your environment. Subscribe and become part of this growing community of watchful hearts. When you engage, you help amplify these urgent warnings so they reach those who might otherwise miss their moment of preparation. And hold on, because what unfolds next will connect every piece together. The coming shift will not just expose what was hidden. It will also reveal your strength. You will see how much you have grown. You will see that your discernment was accurate. You will see that God has been guarding you more closely than you realized. Archangel Michael does not step into situations casually. His involvement signals importance. Your destiny is important enough for heaven to intervene directly. Alone should give you confidence. In the coming days, remain calm. Avoid impulsive decisions. Observe carefully. Pray quietly. When the exposure reaches its peak, you will know exactly what to do. There isn't much time left in the current arrangement around you. The unveiling is closer than ever. And when it happens, you will not crumble. You will advance. Because what is about to happen near you is not meant to break you. It is meant to position you. Chosen vessel, the air around you is thinning of illusion. What once felt stable is beginning to show small fractures, and those fractures are not accidents. They are signals. The urgency carried in this message has not faded. It has intensified. The moment of visible confirmation is approaching with precision, and heaven is ensuring that you are spiritually fortified before it arrives. You may sense that something is different in your surroundings, even if you cannot explain it logically. Certain interactions feel forced. Certain environments feel heavier than before. Certain patterns seem to repeat with unusual frequency. This repetition is not coincidence. It is exposure trying to break through. When God directs Archangel Michael to bring a message urgently, it is because a threshold has been reached. Hidden matters have reached their limit. Silence has completed its assignment. Now truth prepares to speak. And when truth speaks, it does not whisper. There is something near you that has relied on your lack of full visibility. It has functioned quietly because it assumed it would never be examined closely. But heaven has examined it. And once heaven examines something, it cannot remain concealed for long. You may soon witness a conversation unfold that shifts everything. You may overhear something not meant for you. You may receive information that changes your understanding instantly. The event may seem small to others, but to you it will feel like a key turning in a locked door. The door has been locked for a reason. Behind it lies clarity. The urgency exists because clarity changes direction. Once you see fully, you cannot unsee. Once you understand fully, you cannot pretend ignorance. So heaven is preparing your heart to handle what your eyes are about to witness. Archangel Michael's presence signifies spiritual enforcement. He enforces divine boundaries. If something near you has crossed those boundaries, correction is inevitable. Not because God is angry, but because God is protective. Protection sometimes feels like deception. You may feel a subtle emotional preparation taking place within you, almost as if your spirit is bracing itself, not for harm, but for impact. That is discernment aligning with divine timing. You not suppress it. Lean into it. There isn't much time left before the hidden threat in your environment is pulled into the light. And here is something critical you must remember. The exposure is not about embarrassment. It is about separation. What cannot align with your future must detach from your present. Detachment can feel uncomfortable. You might experience a moment of disbelief when the unveiling begins. You might think, I suspected something, but I didn't expect this. That reaction is natural. What matters is what follows. Choose stillness over reaction. Choose wisdom over impulse. The speed of the unfolding will surprise you. Once the first piece becomes visible, the rest will follow quickly. It will be like dominoes falling in perfect sequence. You will realize that what seemed isolated was actually connected. Heaven sees connections you do not. That is why Archangel Michael was directed to intervene. There may also be a test within the exposure. Not a test of loyalty to others, but a test of loyalty to truth. When clarity appears, will you accept it fully? Or will you attempt to soften it to preserve comfort? Do not dilute revelation. You ask for authenticity in your life. Authenticity sometimes demands uncomfortable honesty. You ask for protection from hidden agendas. Protection sometimes removes familiar faces. You ask for acceleration. Acceleration requires lightness. What is being removed or revealed near you is not your loss. It is your liberation. In the days immediately ahead, guard your speech carefully. Words spoken too quickly can complicate what heaven is simplifying. Listen more than you talk. Observe more than you react. Let the full picture reveal itself before you take visible action. There is divine choreography happening behind the scenes. Archangel Michael stands firm at the boundary of your next season. He is not allowing unresolved instability to cross with you. That is why this moment feels intense. Thresholds are rarely crossed casually. You are at a threshold. When the exposure completes its cycle, the atmosphere around you will feel noticeably lighter. You will breathe differently. You will think differently. You will even see certain people differently. That shift will confirm that what happened was necessary. There isn't much time left in this stage of concealment. The curtain is already trembling. Prepare your heart. Strengthen your peace. Anchor yourself in trust. Because what you are about to witness will not be random. It will be the visible proof that heaven moved urgently on your behalf. Anointed listener, you are no longer in the season of wondering. You are in the season of witnessing. The veil that has hovered over your environment is thinning rapidly. What felt unclear is aligning itself for exposure. You may sense that the spiritual atmosphere has become charged, almost electric. That is not your imagination. That is the soundless movement of divine intervention accelerating. When God directed Archangel Michael to bring this message urgently, it was not symbolic. It was strategic. Something near you has reached its final hour of concealment. The timing is precise, and the moment of unveiling is closer than ever before. You may have noticed an increase in small signs, a misplaced comment, a sudden contradiction, a tension that surfaces without clear cause. These are not isolated incidents. They are fragments of a larger revelation assembling itself before your eyes. Do not ignore the fragments. The exposure that is approaching will connect everything at once. What seemed unrelated will suddenly make sense. What felt uncertain will become undeniable. You will see how each subtle warning was building toward this exact moment. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of truth and transition. His presence signals that the boundaries around your destiny are being reinforced. If something near you has been operating outside of those boundaries, it cannot continue. And it will not. There isn't much time left before the truth surfaces in a way that cannot be reversed. Once it does, the atmosphere will shift quickly. You may feel shock at first, but beneath that shock will be confirmation. A quiet inner voice will say, "This is what I sense." Trust that voice. Heaven does not expose without purpose. The purpose is alignment. There has been a misalignment near you that could have delayed your progress. Instead of allowing that delay, God chose revelation. Revelation feels intense in the moment, but it carries freedom within it. You might find that once the truth emerges, decisions that once felt complicated become simple. Paths that once felt blocked suddenly open. Conversations that once felt confusing become clear. That is what happens when light enters a space that was dim. Archangel Michael's involvement ensures that the exposure will not destroy you. It will define your next step. There is protection in this unveiling. There is guidance in this disruption. And here is something deeper. The thing being revealed near you may have been testing your discernment quietly. It may have relied on your silence. It may have depended on your willingness to overlook small inconsistencies. But your spirit refused to stay asleep. That is why you are hearing this message now. You are awake. And because you are awake, you will not misinterpret what is about to happen. There may be an emotional release when it unfolds. Tears, relief, even gratitude. Do not resist that release. It is the body's response to clarity. It is the soul's response to protection. There isn't much time left before concealment gives way to visibility. The urgency in this message is reaching its peak because the moment itself is nearing completion. When it happens, stand tall. Do not shrink back. Do not question your worth. Exposure around you is not a reflection of your failure. It is a reflection of divine correction. And now respond prophetically. Type light has entered in the comments if this is aligning with your spirit. Blessing code 818 has just been activated over your household. And as this light spreads, understand that you are part of something larger than a single revelation. When you sow into this mission through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not giving to a platform. You are fueling a lighthouse that warns others before their storms break. God says, "Those who bring light will shine like the dawn." Hear that as a personal invitation. When you act in generosity, you become a carrier of that dawn for someone else standing in confusion. I feel called to keep releasing these urgent messages without compromise. Your seed becomes oil that keeps the lamp burning through the night. This is not casual support. It is prophetic partnership. As you give, make clarity flood your own path, and may protection multiply around you. Step into this divine exchange now and release your seed boldly. Watchful one, the turning point is no longer distant. It is unfolded. What has been building quietly around you is now pressing against visibility. The subtle signs, the internal nudges, the unusual tension you sensed earlier, they are converging. This is the hour where what was hidden begins to lose its grip. You may feel an unusual stillness before it happens. A calm that feels almost too calm. Do not mistake that calm for delay. Often, just before revelation breaks through, there is a pause. A sacred pause. a moment where heaven finalizes what earth is about to witness. Archangel Michael remains stationed at the edge of this transition. His presence is not symbolic, it is active. He stands as enforcer of divine protection, ensuring that when the unveiling occurs, it will not overwhelm you. It will position you. Something near you is about to shift in a way that cannot be undone. It may come through a conversation that reveals true intentions. It may arrive through unexpected information that confirms your suspicions. It may surface through behavior that exposes what words once concealed. However it manifests, it will carry clarity, and clarity changes everything. You might replay past moments in your mind once it happens. Small details you ignored will suddenly stand out. Words that seemed harmless will carry new meaning. Patterns that felt random will appear intentional. This is not to make you feel foolish. It is to show you how protected you have been. Heaven allowed you to see only what you were ready to handle. There isn't much time left before the final piece falls into place. The urgency that began this message is reaching its fulfillment. When exposure completes its course, you will stand in a different atmosphere. That atmosphere will feel lighter. Do not be surprised if some connections weaken immediately after the truth surfaces. Not every relationship survives revelation. Not every arrangement withstands clarity. What detaches was never stable enough to carry your future, and what remains will be stronger than before. Archangel Michael's intervention is not only about removing what is misaligned. It is about reinforcing what is authentic. As illusion fades, authenticity strengthens. You will see who stands with integrity. You will see what is truly solid. This is refinement, not ruin. There may be a moment when you are tempted to confront everything at once. Resist that impulse. Timing still matters. Even after revelation, wisdom is required. Let events settle. Let emotions cool. Let truth breathe before you act decisively. You are not required to fix what exposure reveals. You are required to move wisely afterward. Something you do not see yet is about to happen near you, and when it does, it will mark the end of a hidden chapter. That chapter may have lasted longer than it should have, but it served a purpose. It strengthened your discernment. It sharpened your awareness. It taught you to listen beyond words. And now that lesson is complete, there may also be an unexpected blessing attached to this unveiling. Once the concealed issue surfaces, a path that was previously blocked may open suddenly. An opportunity that felt delayed may accelerate. A decision that felt heavy may become obvious. Clarity clears resistance. The urgency of this message was never about fear. It was about preparation. You are stepping into a clearer environment. But clarity sometimes arrives through discomfort first. Stand steady in that discomfort. Archangel Michael's presence ensures that you are not alone in this transition. Protection surrounds you even if tension rises briefly. What unfolds is controlled by heaven's timing, not by human impulse. You may feel gratitude once the dust settles. Gratitude that what was hidden did not remain hidden longer. Gratitude that you were warned before the impact. Gratitude that protection intervened when it did. There isn't much time left before the moment of visible confirmation. The signs are aligning. The atmosphere is ready. When it happens, breathe. Do not rush to explain yourself. Do not rush to defend yourself. Truth does not require your defense. It reveals itself. And once it does, you will walk forward lighter than you have in a long time. Because what is about to happen near you is not the end of stability. It is the beginning of alignment. Steadfast heart, you are now within moments of manifestation. Everything that had been building beneath the surface is about to rise. The tension you felt was not false alarm. The warnings you sensed were not imagination. The urgency in this message was not exaggeration. You are standing at the edge of visible proof. Something you did not see clearly before is about to become undeniable. The atmosphere around you may already feel different. Conversations may carry a sharper edge. Silence may feel heavier. Movements may seem calculated. This is because concealment knows its time is ending. When light approaches, shadows shift. Archangel Michael remains positioned in authority over this transition. His role has been to guard you from sudden shock, to prepare your spirit before your eyes witness what is coming. Protection does not always prevent exposure. Sometimes it prepares you for it. And you are prepared. There isn't much time left before the event unfolds fully. It may begin with a small trigger, something that seems ordinary at first glance. But that trigger will unravel what has been hidden. A single sentence could expose an entire pattern. A single action could reveal a long-standing truth. When it happens, your first reaction may be silence. That silence will be wisdom. Do not rush to fill the space with emotion. Let truth complete its unveiling. Allow others to reveal themselves without interruption. Often, when concealment feels threatened, it begins to speak excessively. Listen carefully. The more that is said, the clearer the picture becomes. You might feel a strange mixture of disappointment and relief. Disappointment that things were not as they appeared. Relief that you are no longer guessing. Both emotions can exist together. Let them. The urgency of this message also carries instruction for this precise moment. Guard your dignity. Do not respond in a way that reduces you. Exposure is not your cue to lose composure. It is your cue to demonstrate strength. Archangel Michael's presence ensures that what is revealed will not overpower you. It will empower you. It will free you from uncertainty. It will remove the weight of suspicion and replace it with clarity. And clarity gives direction. Very soon, you will have to make a decision based on what is uncovered. A decision may involve distancing yourself from someone. It may involve redefining boundaries. It may involve stepping away from an arrangement that no longer aligns. Do not hesitate when the time comes. You were warned because you are meant to act wisely. Now let me speak directly to you in this moment of intensity. If this message hath been walking step by step with what you have been sensing, then engage with it. Like this video so that others who are standing on the edge of revelation can find it in time. Share it with someone who needs discernment before their own unveiling begins. Comment what confirmation you have received through this message. Subscribe and stand with this growing community that refuses to walk blindly into hidden traps. And before you move on, stay attentive, because what completes this shift will tie everything together in a way you do not expect. There isn't much time left in the current dynamic near you. The structure that once seemed stable is trembling. But trembling is not destruction. It is testing. What survives this test will be real. What collapses was never secure. You may notice that once exposure occurs, your energy shifts immediately. You will feel lighter. You will feel more focused. You will feel less distracted by subtle tension that you could not previously explain. That shift will confirm that what happened was necessary. Archangel Michael's assignment in your life at this moment is nearing completion. His intervention has ensured that you are not caught unaware. His protection has kept you steady while truth prepared to rise. And now, the final moments of concealment are fading. Stand firm. Do not second-guess your discernment. Do not apologize for recognizing truth. The event near you is not random. It is the closing of a hidden chapter. And as the chapter closes, a clearer one opens. You are not losing ground. You are gaining clarity. And clarity is the gateway to your next elevation. Resolute spirit. The unveiling has either begun or is moments away from completion. You can feel it now. The atmosphere is no longer just tense, it is decisive. What once lingered in uncertainty is crystallizing into visible truth. The long preparation, the warnings, the urgency, all of it has led to this threshold. There is no turning back from clarity. Something near you has shifted permanently. Whether it came through a conversation, an unexpected discovery, or a sudden behavioral change, the mask has slipped. And once a mask slips, it rarely fits the same way again. Archangel Michael's assignment at this stage is reinforcement. Protection does not stop at exposure and continues through transition. Because now that truth is visible, movement must follow. You may feel a wave of realization washing over you. Moments from the past rearranging themselves in your memory. Signs you ignored now standing boldly in hindsight. You not allow regret to take root. You were not meant to see it sooner. You were meant to see it now. Timing protected you. There isn't much time left in this old alignment. What had been revealed cannot return to its hidden form. Even if others attempt to minimize it, even if explanations are offered, even if apologies surface, the clarity remains. Clarity changes posture. You may notice your boundaries strengthening automatically. Conversations that once felt difficult now feel simple. Decisions that once felt complicated now feel obvious. This is what happens when illusion is removed. Do not shrink to maintain comfort for others. What was exposed near you required courage to witness. Now it requires courage to respond. That response does not have to be loud. It does not have to be dramatic. It simply has to be firm. Archangel Michael stands as a silent witness to this firmness. His presence signals that you are not acting alone. You are acting under divine covering. What you decide next carries spiritual backing. The urgency that started this message was about preventing surprise. And you were not surprised. Even if the details startled you, your spirit was prepared. That preparation is evidence of protection. Now comes the transition. There may be a brief period of adjustment. Spaces may feel unfamiliar. Routines may shift. Dynamics may recalibrate. This adjustment is not instability. It is reorganization. Heaven is rearranging your surroundings to match your future, not your past. Something you did not see before has now been placed fully in your view. And because you see it, you are free. Free from guessing. Free from second-guessing yourself. Free from carrying tension that did not belong to you. There isn't much time left before the new alignment settles completely. Once it does, you will look back and recognize how necessary this was. You will see that what felt disruptive was actually protective. You will understand that Archangel Michael's urgent delivery was mercy, not alarm. You may also begin to notice new opportunities emerging quietly. Once misalignment leaves, space opens. That space is not meant to remain empty. It is meant to be filled with clarity, authenticity, and growth. Do not rush to fill it prematurely. Let the dust settle fully. Let truth breathe. Let your spirit stabilize in the new atmosphere. You might feel stronger than you expected. That strength is not hardness. It is confidence restored. When hidden tension leaves your environment, your energy returns to you. You think clearer. You move lighter. You trust yourself more deeply. That is the gift hidden inside exposure. Archangel Michael's role was never to create fear. It was to ensure that what was concealed could not sabotage your progress. Now that the concealment has been broken, you are standing in a different light. And this light reveals not only others, it reveals you. You are more discerning than you realized. You are more resilient than you thought. You are more protected than you knew. The urgency has fulfilled its purpose. The revelation has done its work. The shift is nearly complete. Very soon, peace will replace tension entirely. And when that peace settles, you will understand why heaven refused to remain silent. What happened near you was not random. It was rescue. And what comes next will be built on truth, not illusion. Victorious one, the transition is complete. What was hidden hath been revealed. What was uncertain has been clarified. What once felt tense and unexplainable has now taken visible form. You are no longer standing at the edge of something unknown. You are standing in the aftermath of divine intervention. Take a deep breath and recognize this. You were protected. The urgency that began this message was not grammatic language. It was a heavenly alert. God directed Archangel Michael to move quickly because delay would have cost you peace, clarity, and momentum. But you were warned. You were prepared. And when the moment arrived, you were not destroyed by it. You were strengthened through it. Look at how far you have come in just this short span of realization. The confusion that once hovered around you has lifted. The subtle discomfort that you could not explain now makes sense. The pieces that once felt scattered are now aligned into a clear picture. This is what divine exposure accomplishes. It does not humiliate you. It liberates you. Archangel Michael's assignment in your life during this moment was strategic. He stood at the boundary of your next season and refused to allow hidden instability to cross over with you. That is not just protection, that is honor. Heaven honored your future enough to intervene in your present. There isn't much time left in the old chapter because it has already closed. You may still feel echoes of it for a short while. Memories, reflections, small reminders of what once felt normal. But those echoes will fade quickly. What remains will be strength. Notice how your perspective has shifted. You are no longer questioning your discernment. You are no longer dismissing your intuition. You are no longer tolerating subtle misalignment just to preserve temporary peace. You have grown. And growth was the deeper purpose all along. What happened near you was not meant to make you cynical. It was meant to make you wise. There is a difference. Cynicism builds walls. Wisdom builds boundaries. Walls isolate. Boundaries protect. You now know the difference. As you move forward, carry this lesson carefully. Not with fear, but with awareness. Not with suspicion, but with discernment. The exposure you experienced was not a punishment for trusting. It was training for leading. Because where you are going next requires clarity. Archangel Michael's urgent involvement signals something profound. Your future holds weight. Your calling carries influence. And heaven will not allow hidden corruption to attach itself to what God is building through you. That should fill you with confidence. The season ahead will feel lighter. Decisions will feel cleaner. Relationships will feel more authentic. Opportunities will feel aligned instead of forced. That is the reward of enduring exposure with dignity. And remember this above all else. You were never alone in this process. Even when you felt unsure, protection surrounded you. Even when you doubted your perception, guidance was active. Even when concealment lingered, heaven was counting down the moment of truth. Now that truth stands fully revealed, so stand fully restored. If this entire journey has spoken directly to your spirit, respond boldly. Type "I walk in truth" in the comments as a declaration over your life. Blessing code 1212 is now released over your path, marking completion and new alignment. And as you step into this new clarity, hear this final call as part of the same prophetic flow. The exposure that protected you is the same kind of warning that can rescue countless others. When you release a seed through Super Thanks, become a member, or sow through the PayPal link in the description, you are not supporting a video. You are extending a lifeline. Scripture declares, "Cast your bread upon the waters, and it will return to you." Dear God, speaking that over you personally right now. When you give, you are casting light into dark places where someone else stands unaware of what is forming near them. I believe I am called to sound these alarms before it is too late. Your generosity becomes oil that keeps this prophetic fire burning. This is not a casual donation. It is a divine response. As you sow, may protection surround your household and clarity increase in every decision you make. Step into obedience now and release your seed with bold faith. You were warned. You were protected. And now, you advance in truth.